Have you ever felt that the world out there feels too heavy? That even with invitations, parties, and noise, your favorite place is still the silence of your own home? For many, that might seem like isolation. But for those who carry something special within, it can be a clear sign of a spiritual awakening. Maybe you're not withdrawing out of fear, but protecting yourself out of wisdom. We live in a society that values noise, excess, and constant presence. But what happens when the heart asks for retreat? When the spirit only finds peace in solitude, not everyone understands it. But those who are chosen feel it in their bodies, in their souls, in their energy. Staying home, seeking silence, feeling drained around crowds. All of this might be part of something greater. Today, we're going to talk about that. We're going to reveal 9 truths that only those who are chosen and prefer to stay at home will understand. If you feel different, if you see and perceive things that others ignore, maybe this message was made exactly for you. I'm George, and if this already makes sense to you, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to receive the next messages. Now take a deep breath, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see your own essence. Not everyone understands, but there is a greater reason behind your desire to stay at home. You're not avoiding the world out of laziness or discouragement. It's just that for those who carry a deeper sensitivity, the noise outside can feel like a direct attack on balance. For the chosen one, withdrawing is wisdom, not cowardice. You are not hiding from life. You are preserving yourself. The excess of stimuli, demands, and shallow interactions exhausts your energetic field. With every forced outing, you come back with your soul more tired than when you left. And over time, your body understands this. Your spirit starts to say, "Stay here, where you can hear yourself clearly." While many associate being out of the house with happiness and activity, the chosen ones know that true happiness lies in feeling whole, and that rarely happens in chaotic environments full of falseness or noise. For the chosen one, less is more. Fewer people, less noise, fewer masks. More truth, more silence, more soul. Society teaches that we must always be available, participating in everything, being seen. But the chosen one follows a different path. They don't want to be seen. They want to be felt. They don't want to be everywhere. They want to be in the right place. And often the only space where that is possible is within their own home. There are days when the soul cries out for retreat, and if the chosen one ignores that call, they end up getting sick inside. The energy gets confused, the emotions tangled. It's as if the body screams for spiritual rest. And when they finally answer that call and stay home, everything becomes calm again. Because there they are safe. Retreat is a form of silent alignment. It's when the chosen one listens to their intuition without interference. They understand that staying at home is not stopping life. It's continuing in a different way, a more inward, truer way. Because sometimes the greatest journey is the dive within oneself. And that doesn't mean they don't love people or don't want to experience life. It only means they choose more carefully where to place their presence. Because they've already learned that their energy is far too valuable to be wasted on what doesn't nourish them. And that is spiritual maturity. Silence, the ritual of solitude, the care for one's space, all of it has a purpose. The chosen one knows that every object in their home carries a memory. Every corner is a sanctuary. They don't just live there, they inhabit that space with their soul. And that's why they feel a peace there that the world cannot offer. Being chosen doesn't mean being better than anyone else. It simply means perceiving sooner, feeling more deeply. And because of that, Retreating isn't an act of weakness. It's preparation. It's tuning the senses, restoring strength, and hearing the inner voice that only speaks when external noise ceases. That is wisdom. And if you feel this, you already know. You're not running away. You're returning to yourself. For the chosen one, the home goes beyond a physical space. It becomes a sacred refuge. Every corner of the house holds their energy, their processes, their silent prayers. The home is not just where one sleeps. It's where the soul breathes, where healing happens, where truth echoes slowly without pressure or demand. While the world demands performance, the chosen one's home allows presence. It is there that they let the masks fall, unload the weight from their shoulders, and finally find rest. Not rest only for the body, but for the soul. Because it is hard to carry so much inside and still smile for the outside world. And it is at home that they allow themselves to be whole, without filters. The chosen one's home may be simple, small, modest, but it is filled with meaning. They care for it tenderly because they understand that it is there that they rebuild themselves. There, they light incense, play soft music, and speak with God in their own way. They don't need a temple or complex rituals. The faith of the chosen one is intimate, yet intense. Every object has a spiritual function: a book, a plant, a painting, a candle. Nothing is there by chance. The energy of the home reflects the interior of the chosen one. If the space feels light, so do they. If it's disordered, they feel the disharmony in their chest. That's why they clean, organize, and protect it, as if they were caring for their own soul. And it's not uncommon that, upon arriving home, they feel immediate relief. It's as if something inside whispers, "Now you can be yourself." It's in that space that they cry purely, smile alone, and hear the signals the world drowns out. The home is their spiritual capsule, their field of protection, their meeting point with their own essence. There they write what they feel, reflect on their choices, let old memories, dreams, and plans come forth. The home becomes a mirror of the soul, honest, quiet, full of details invisible to others, yet deeply meaningful to those who carry the gift of perceiving the unseen. Even on days when everything feels confusing, the home embraces them. Even when the outside world rejects them, judges them, or tries to mold them, their home remains the place where they can simply exist. And that is the true power of the chosen one, knowing where to find peace, even when everything seems to fall apart. Because there, in the sacredness of their home, they remember who they are. One of the greatest gifts of a chosen one is sensitivity. But we're not talking about someone who is overly emotional or weak, as many tend to say. The sensitivity of the chosen is refined, deep, almost invisible. They perceive what lies behind a look, a phrase, an atmosphere. It's as if they had an antenna tuned into what others cannot detect. You know that tightness in the chest when you enter certain places, or that urge to leave without even knowing why. That's not fussiness. It's energetic perception. The chosen one feels the vibrational fields around them, and when they're not clean, their body reacts. Sometimes with fatigue, headaches, or even sudden sadness. Their spiritual body is on alert. And that is why they avoid going out. Because the world out there is full of noise, falseness, competition, and haste. And all of that enters through the door of the soul for those who feel too much. Staying home becomes a way to protect themselves from this excess. There they can breathe, reconnect, keep their vibration at peace. And this is not isolation. It's self-care. Sometimes they are in a group and can feel the atmosphere getting heavy, even when everyone is smiling. They sense jealousy even when nothing is said. They feel hidden intentions, detect pain disguised as jokes, anger hidden behind forced kindness. And all of that consumes them. It's like constantly hearing a silent conversation in the spiritual world. The chosen one has a gift that the world does not understand: the ability to see the invisible. They can tell when someone is not being genuine, even if they hide it well. This naturally distances them from shallow relationships. They can't stand falseness, pretense, social games. And the more spiritually awake they become, the more selective they are. It's not that they think they're better. It's that they can no longer bear the pain of forcing themselves to fit in. Sensitivity isn't a burden, but it requires care. So when they say, "I'm not going," "I can't," or simply stay silent, they're respecting their limits. They're saying, "My field needs peace." That's spiritual maturity. And not everyone understands it. Their silence often speaks louder than words. Their presence shifts the energy in a room. When they walk in, the atmosphere changes. Some feel uncomfortable, others feel relief, because their vibration acts like a mirror, revealing what's hidden. That's why they're not always welcomed everywhere, even when they've done nothing wrong. And all of this only reinforces their desire to be home. Because home doesn't demand, doesn't wound, doesn't test them. There, they can be whole. They can relax their vibration. They can turn off their antenna and simply exist. They can heal without explaining, feel without defending. That is rare, that is sacred. Being chosen means carrying a sensitivity that, when well cared for, becomes strength. What was once seen as exaggeration becomes wisdom. What was once seen as fragility reveals itself as divine protection. And if you feel this, know. This reading of the invisible is part of your gift. Taking care of it is an act of respect for yourself and for your mission. The world runs as if time were running out. But the chosen one feels that this rhythm no longer suits them. While many live for productivity and outcomes, the chosen one seeks meaning. They're not interested in running just to run. They want to know why they're going, where they're heading, and with what energy. That's why they slow down, and that's why the world finds them strange. They dislike rush. When everything demands urgency, they prefer to pause, and not out of slowness, but because they listen. And to hear the soul, one needs silence and time. That's why they crave being at home. There they don't need to hurry. They can live at their own pace, listen to inner signals, respect their intuition, feel what must be felt. External acceleration muffles inner wisdom. When everything demands quick responses, the chosen one stops and asks, "Is this really it?" And when they pause, they perceive what no one else sees. They realize they're living a rhythm that isn't theirs, that they've accepted goals that make no sense. And in that moment, they choose retreat, silence, introspection. The home becomes the space where they fully slow down, where they breathe slowly, walk at their own pace, eat mindfully, feel the music with their heart. Small rituals become sacred. Brewing tea, lighting a candle, writing a thought, looking at the sky. Simple things. But there, they listen to the Spirit. They listen to God. That listening only happens when they turn off autopilot. And autopilot exists out there in the world. The agitation prevents presence. And without presence, the Spirit grows quiet. That's why the chosen one withdraws. Not from lack of will to live, but because they want to live differently. They want to live with truth. And that only happens when the soul leads the way. It's necessary to slow down to truly feel what matters. The chosen one perceives that the more they rush to please, the further they drift from themselves. So they stop. And in that pause, they find clarity. They see what is truly theirs and what was imposed upon them. They see that much of what was called success was only disguise, and then they begin to choose more wisely. Slowing down is not wasting time. It's reclaiming the time lost on what never made sense. And the chosen one understands that their mission doesn't demand haste. It demands presence, connection, alignment. They know that to be a channel of light, they must be clear. They must be whole. And wholeness only happens when one lives by the soul's timing, not the clock's. So if they are quieter, slower, more absent, it's not neglect, it's attention. It's care for their own field, it's preparation. Because every pause has a purpose. And for the chosen one, the pause is where they hear their deepest truth. The pause is where they remember why they came and what it all means. If you feel this, then you already understand. The world's rush doesn't suit your soul, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine to walk slower, as long as your feet stay grounded and your heart stays aligned with heaven. The faith of the chosen is not usually loud. They don't shout, they don't argue about their beliefs, nor do they feel the need to convince anyone. The faith of the chosen is like a calm fire that warms from within, even when everything outside seems cold and empty. It is this faith that sustains them on the days when the world out there feels unbearable. Many think faith is only what can be seen, that it must be in words, public declarations, and ready-made phrases. But the chosen know that true faith is intimate. It manifests in daily choices, in moments of silence, in difficult decisions made without certainty. And this faith is born in solitude. When they are at home, far from the world's noise, that faith blossoms. It is there, between a silent prayer and a deep breath, that they feel the presence of the divine. They don't need an audience or explanations. The faith of the chosen is like a conversation with God that happens in a low voice, but completely changes their energy. In the midst of solitude, the chosen one strengthens their trust. Even without knowing what will happen tomorrow, they feel they are on the right path. Even when everything around says, "You're late," they feel in their chest that they're exactly where they're meant to be. That quiet certainty is one of the greatest signs of the silent faith of the chosen ones. And that's why they're not in a hurry. While the world seeks security and immediate answers, the chosen trust the subtle signs, dreams, intuitions, and inexplicable sensations that only they understand. And when at home, in peace, they can hear all this more clearly. Their faith is made of listening, not noise. Even in emotional storms, the chosen do not give up. They might fall, doubt, or step away for a while, but they always return to their essence, because deep down, they know they are not alone. Even if no one understands their journey, they know something greater is guiding their steps. And that certainty comes from silence, not from explanation. So don't be surprised if the chosen seem distant at times. They're connecting to something beyond logic. They're listening to the direction of the spirit. They're calibrating their energy to move forward with clarity. And that's only possible when they withdraw and trust their inner faith. Many people look at the chosen and think they isolate themselves because they're afraid. But the truth is the opposite. The chosen one's isolation is not escape. It's spiritual shielding. They feel when something is wrong, even if everyone says otherwise. And to protect themselves, they retreat. Because they know their peace isn't found just anywhere. By avoiding certain environments, the chosen aren't being antisocial. They're taking care of their energetic field. They've learned, often through pain, that not every place deserves their presence, that not every conversation is healthy, that not every closeness is good, and that it's better to be alone than poorly accompanied, spiritually speaking. When they withdraw, it's as if they raise an invisible field of protection around themselves. Inside their home, they cleanse their energy, reorganize their feelings, and renew their strength. They protect themselves not only from people, but from the negative vibrations circulating in the world that can unbalance their soul. This isolation doesn't make them weak, it makes them aware. It's as if their spirit says, "Stay here until everything aligns," and the chosen one listens to that command. They feel when it's time to step back and when it's time to go. And if that seems strange to others, that's all right. What matters is staying in peace. There are moments when they clearly realize they were saved from situations because they followed their intuition, because they didn't go out, because they said no, because they respected their urge to stay. And then they understand. Isolation was protection. It was deliverance. It was spirituality pulling them away from something they couldn't even see. That makes them trust even more in their inner impulses. They know everything that happens has a purpose, and so they feel no guilt for preferring solitude. They feel safe. They feel grateful, because being at home in silence is what keeps them whole in a world that often tries to break those who are too sensitive. Thus, isolation reveals itself not as an end, but as a sacred interval, a time for healing, listening, and reconnection. A time when the chosen protects themselves so they can later return to the world with more light. They know silence strengthens them. And every time they respect themselves, they are preparing for something greater. Over time, the chosen one begins to understand that their home is not just a place where they sleep and live. It becomes their temple, their sacred space. Every corner carries meaning. It's not about luxury, it's about energy. It's not about appearance, it's about vibration. It's there that they feel their soul relax, their mind calm, and their intuition express itself more clearly. For the chosen one, home is where they can shed the character they play, where they don't need to fit into labels or pretend to be okay. It's where they can cry, laugh, pray, reflect, and simply be. There are no judgments, no demands. They know that there lies their spiritual refuge, a protected space where their emotions are not drowned out by the world's noise. Many find this attachment to home strange, but they don't understand that it's where the chosen one most deeply connects with the unseen. It's where they feel God's presence without needing words, sometimes in silence, other times through soft music, maybe by lighting incense or reading a passage that touches the soul. Small gestures that make that space sacred. It's not loneliness, it's reconnection. Home is the place where they cleanse their soul, where they talk with God in their own way, where they nurture their faith freely. And that's why, even if few understand, they wouldn't trade that space for anything. Because it's there they rediscover themselves. There they remember who they are. There they prepare to continue their mission. If you feel this, know this. Your home is also part of your calling. It's in its silence that you find strength to illuminate the world outside. And that is a gift. That is protection. That is a choice of the soul. This is why the chosen ones don't like to leave home, because they've already understood that the sacred can dwell in the simple. And that true connection begins within, not in the crowd. After all we've talked about, one thing is clear. Those who prefer to stay at home are not running away from life. They're choosing where their soul can breathe in peace. This is not ordinary isolation. It's a deeper calling, a spiritual instinct that protects, filters, and heals. The chosen perceive what most ignore. They feel the weight of environments and the impact of people. And that is why they choose to withdraw. The world may not understand. It may judge, try to push them into busyness, make it seem like home is a prison. But the chosen one knows that in truth, it is a refuge, a temple, a point of reconnection with something greater. It's there they understand their emotions, cleanse their energy, listen to their intuition, and strengthen themselves for whatever comes. Those who care for themselves this way are not weak. They are aware. And now I want to know from you. What do you feel when you're inside your home, in silence, away from the crowd? What part of your soul reveals itself when you choose to be with yourself without distractions? Comment below. In my house, and complete it with something that describes your experience as a chosen one. It can be something simple like, in my house, I listen to God. In my house, I am whole. Or whatever resonates most with you. Let's create together a space where the chosen ones can recognize themselves in one another. I want to read what you live, feel, and understand when you choose to remain in your own sacred space. May your home continue to be the place where your light is renewed every day. See you next time.